All right, here we go. Week 7, distance learning. I don't know if you heard the announcement last Wednesday by the governor, but it had me like. Yeah, my daughter wasn't too impressed, but what are you going to do? Everybody's a critic. So, like I said, May 18th to the 22nd, it is week 7 of distance learning. I put it out there for a bunch of people. I've been making calls. I've been kind of touching base with some people who kind of are drifting away. Look, you guys are going to get a letter grade for this. You want to get credit. This is a required course, so stick with it. All right? Just kind of want to give you a heads up that after week 8, the final week, we're going to have kind of a retake week. So if there are any weeks that you haven't done, there are going to be opportunities for you to retake some of those summatives. All right, so here's week 7. We're getting into the civil rights movement. The first assignment is just a little introduction and a little kind of question to state 3 to 5 summarized sentences of intro of the civil rights movement. There's a little presentation here on YouTube that I created time and time ago. It's just a little basic intro to the civil rights movement. It goes through some of the notes from the time period, looks at some of the specific people and places and ideas. This is a really good place to start. There's some primary sources that I have linked in there as well. All right, so then the next assignment that we're going to look at is just pretty much straight up vocabulary. You look at the list here, the idea of Brown versus the Board of Education, NAACP, the Little Rock Nine, getting into kind of some of the beginnings, Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King as well, and then getting into kind of the mid to late part of the civil rights movement, what we like to call the mobilization of when they start acting and protesting. You have a little quiz here for Wednesday. Thursday, you've done similar assignments here. You can either choose to do the Flipgrid, or you can choose one of these events to focus on. Basically, I want at least one thing covered. There's some notes here to help you. There's an intro, just focus on Rosa Parks, MLK, and Malcolm X. And then here's your Flipgrid link. So you can either do the Flipgrid, or you can do a summary of each of these things, looking at kind of a basics, timeline, and leaders, and obviously the websites are linked here. So that's a little bit more difficult assignment for the formative things to do. And then lastly, there'll be a summative that will be opened up on Friday, and then that'll take us into our 3-day weekend for Memorial Day. The final week next week will be our last week of actual topics when we'll look at the social movements that grew out of the civil rights movement. So that's it for this week. I hope you're still doing well, working hard, keep it up. For those of you that are looking to engage, please make sure to touch base with me if you want to retake or redo any summatives from earlier in the year prior to that finals week, because you don't want to have to do all 8 of them that final week. All right? Other than that, have a wonderful week.